Not only is this the longest singular running item here at HSN, it is our #1 fitness item, over 20 years and counting, customer pick. This already has rave reviews. There are so many things that set it apart, and now Roger, Riley, the whole family, they have taken us to the new level. Not only is this FDA cleared and approved, it is the same quality that is used and was designed for doctors' offices and medical practices. For an introductory price, you're getting all of the benefits, goes to the source of your pain. But without further ado, we're going to take a little listen to Horace. This is from a recent infomercial. Maybe you've seen Roger, maybe you've seen the Teeter elsewhere. You will never see it for this price, but I love how he references he used to be a grumpy old man. What's your pain keeping you from? How's it changing your life?
Physically, mentally, and emotionally, I was totally a grumpy old man. I watched the Teeter commercial. I believed everything Roger Teeter said. If it wasn't for the Teeter, I wouldn't be the person I am today. He gave me back my life, and it put the smile back on my face. If I was face to face with Roger Teeter, I would cry like a baby, because what he gave me was my life back. And I thank him. I thank him for that.
You can just tell me in person.
Oh, God. Thank you, sir. I didn't know you were going to be here.
I love my job, and it's because of testimonies like yours. I wrecked my back, and Inversion changed my life. This is not a gimmick. We're not just selling product. We're selling a changed lifestyle.
Yes.
So many people have written off their ability to move freely because of old age. No, it's the long-term effects of gravity combined with lifestyle, posture, and a whole lot of other things. Teeter's a way to fight back against that. So.
If it wasn't for your honesty, your integrity, I wouldn't be standing here with you today. I can't thank you enough.
The man and his family who have made it all happen for over 2 decades, customer pick. Remember, you, although we love Roger and what he does, you are the magic to this show. I want to break new records. I want to talk to more people in this hour if we possibly can. Roger, this is more than just a job. It's a way of life, right, my friend?
Absolutely. I love my job. You know, this is my pay, is the change lives that I see. You know, but it's so exciting to come to HSN with a new model. This is the 2019, good grief, model. New name, the FitSpine X2, and new color combinations.
Oh, I love this.
And the biggest thing is we have a new bed. This bed, we lifted it off the frame and we put it on 8 suspension points that allow it to float.
I can feel
it's very,
it.
Look how flexible this is.
So you took that engineering marvel, which that is your craft, that is your trade, and now, by the way, no one has a table like this. So it has the structure that it needs to give you that support and that realignment, but it also has a little more fluidity, you know, kind of like the suspension.
It moves with you.
It moves with you.
Yeah, as you sit into it, you sink into it, and we did it while keeping the most important part, the bed surface, which is a highly engineered surface, to encourage decompression. After all, that's what the biggest thing about inversion is decompression. The Teeter decompresses you. You will elongate 1 to 2 inches. That's a real number. But you've got to be able to slide on the bed as you elongate.
Because HSN, they said, well, why don't you put some pillows? Why don't you put some cushion on there? And Roger's like, I can't do that if I want results.
Well, it wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work.
If you have foam, it's comfortable, but you sink into the foam and then you don't elongate. So you're actually fighting the primary benefit.
Absolutely. Hey, by the way, if you take a look at this price reduction, you are looking at well over $100 off. It's $130 off for today and tomorrow only. We've reduced that shipping. You're getting it at home for a little over $54. But let's talk about pain. And, you know, Roger, you and I have talked. Everybody has their own crusade or cross to bear. I've got sciatica. I've got arthritis. I've got a lot of issues going on. The FDA agrees that you can help me. They finally do.
Finally came to the party a year and a half ago and classified Teeter as a Class 1 medical device, and Teeter is indicated for these things. There's 10 of them in all. Look at back pain, sciatica, spinal degenerative joint disease. That's the same as osteoarthritis. Spinal curvature due to tight muscles, muscle tension, and herniated disc, degenerative disc disease, spinal stenosis, facet syndrome, and muscle spasms. You know, and when you think about that, you think, well, wait a minute. FDA says it's indicated for those 10 things, but those 10 things are all caused by different causes, or largely different causes.
Right.
Yet, just the use of the teeter deals with all of them, because the teeter decompresses the spine and relieves back pain in 4 different ways.
It doesn't mask it, right? It goes to the source.
It deals with the source. You know, it doesn't mask it. What good is a pain pill? Your back's still screaming, you just can't hear it.
You're right.
It relieves pain 4 different ways. Most important, it decompresses. You got a pinched nerve, that's sciatica, degenerative joint disease. You take the pressure off. Less pressure is less pain. When you decompress, if there's a misalignment, that can be another cause of pain, and you move around, it'll realign itself. It wants to be in alignment. You can stretch and relax paraspinal muscles, like those tight muscles can pull curvature into your spine, and that can be a cause of pain, and it helps this to rehydrate, to recover the moisture that they've lost.
And it does it immediately.
More supple.
And it's natural. Hey, by the way, remember, we want to hear from you. I would like to go back to that FDA still one more time, and then we're going to outline all of the differences. You know, this is the only table, first of all, it's the only inversion table that we've ever sold here at HSN. But if the FDA, I always ask this question legitimately, do you have back pain? I do. Do you have sciatica? I do. Do you have spinal degenerative joint disease? I do. I've got arthritis. I do. Osteo and rheumatoid. Do you have spinal curvature? I've got that as well. Muscle tension. So far I've checked all the boxes. How is it changing your life? Herniated disc, that even sounds painful. Degenerative disc disease, spinal stenosis, facet syndrome, muscle spasm. And remember, this is the same table that is used in doctor's offices. Not only is it FDA cleared and approved, it is the only inversion table in the world that comes 85% assembled, 5-year warranty.
Yes.
All the medical upgrades included for free, and not only that, UL safety tested
Certified,
and approved and certified. Only one in the world, and you're only getting it for this show and 2 other airings tomorrow if it's available. It's, again, new enhancements that we've never seen before, so they took what was already the best inversion table in the world, and they made it better. Actually, Colleen, who we all know and love here, she has made this her host. She's gonna host Picked It. She's been inverting for over 20 years. Andrew Lessman, who we always look to as a font of information, he's actually came on shows with Roger to talk about it. And Roger, the thing is, there are so many things that sets this table apart. The new suspension system, I'm so jazzed about, because now it's more comfortable than ever before.
Yes, absolutely.
But you've already done upgrades that you do for the clinical and doctor's practices.
Yeah, actually,
like this, right?
Easy Reach handle was developed specifically for doctor's offices, because people going to doctors really do have significant back pain, and they don't have the ability to comfortably lean over. So this and micro adjustments.
I was just going to hear. So you can hear
teeny little adjustments get that perfect
adjustments,
fit.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Then we already talked about the suspension system. So you get the structure, but then you also get a little more of a flexibility. It moves with you, like you said.
This bed, as you mentioned, this has an 8-point fluid suspension. And this isn't the lumbar bridge.
No, you're also the only one who does this, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Why do I need this?
Actually, this is really important. And it especially is important in the sense that it keeps the right curvature and partial inversion. But most important, you know, as you start to invert, it kind of grabs your butt here, and it squares your hips.
Oh, it does.
It squares your hips because that's the foundation of your spine. So it's really important to square your hips, because a lot of people have one hip a little higher than the other.
I do. I've got one hip and one leg a little bit shorter than the other one.
So squaring your hips before you start to decompress.
So that's the only one in the world that has that. So this, again, that medical grade, that doctor's practice created micro adjustment, you know, footbed, the new suspension system, this lumbar support that if you've got one leg or one hip higher or shorter than the other, no other table in the world has it. You've got little fingers that are gonna,
These are those, if you've got that knot in your back and you wish somebody could take their thumb and push on it, these are your thumbs. There's 8 of them, 2 of each side.
Hey, by
and they
the way,
go anywhere on these slots.
We are Facebooking live, so, and actually when somebody can bring me a tablet, that's great. So if you want to ask or try to stump Roger, it's not possible. You can't stump Roger or Riley. I've learned that on almost every subject, because I've quizzed them on more than just inversion. But then, Roger, not only do you have that, these handles, those
this
are big,
is actually
right?
my favorite upgrade.
Is it really?
Yeah, it really is. And they're included. Let's say that, you know, the more the angle, the more the benefits. But it's really important you never ever go beyond an angle where you're totally comfortable.
Right.
Because if you start to tense up, you're fighting the benefits. So let's say you put the tether strap,
Right,
you know, the
which
preset,
was
the
always
tether
an
strap.
upgrade,
Yeah,
right,
and
exactly.
This color-coded upgrade, right? But now let's say you put that on, and let's say that's the most extreme angle you're comfortable with. Maybe it isn't even that much.
And
Maybe
that's all
it's
you
here.
have to do.
Well, if you go to this angle, and then use the traction handles and actually push on the traction handles with your arm power. See, they follow you. And you just push with, you decompress your body as though you were in full inversion.
Right.
And of course that takes a little bit of work, but
Right.
it's a transition way, because if you invert on a regular basis, you'll become as comfortable upside down or as you are at your desk. But, you know, working up to the angle of the rear legs, but the traction handles, I use them in full inversion.
Oh, do you really?
Oh, yeah, sure. It's just that extra stretch.
oomph.
And you can alternate with them and really mobilize the...
But like Colleen says, it's the best beauty secret ever, because you get kind of that beautiful rosy flush, right?
Yeah,
like
that's right.
That invigorating. And here's the other thing. You don't have to commit any time to this. It takes as little or less time than brushing your teeth. So it takes you longer to microwave a baked potato. It takes you longer to microwave popcorn than it does to get immediate relief that goes to the source.
People always ask, well, how often? I mean, all those benefits, 3 to 5 minutes.
3 to 5
Are you kidding me?
minutes.
Yes, I am telling you the truth, 3 to 5 minutes. The key is you relax, pick an angle you're comfortable with, add more angle as you're comfortable. When you think you had enough, stop. This is the quiet side of fitness.
It is. Here, 2 things, and wow, are we busy. And remember, we are Facebooking Live, and you are so important to this show. You really are Roger and Riley's payment. So, and Matt, you too. We haven't forgotten about you in the background. But share your story. I have to say, even if you're committing to this for the first time tonight, we're taking over $130 off your price. Now, that's almost... It's actually more than that, because we have more. The shipping is less than you spend to go to a movie. They've greatly reduced that. Normally that's $50, so that's almost free, not quite. Again, less than you spend on a movie. 3 to 5 minutes, it goes to the source of the pain. It is the only inversion table in the world that is UL safety tested, cleared, and approved. FDA approved and cleared for all of those medical conditions that we were speaking about. Goes to the source of the pain. 5-year warranty. All of the upgrades for the same introductory price. $130 off, plus the additional, saving component, and all of that with 85% assembled. But Roger, we keep saying it goes to the source of the pain, right?
Yes, absolutely. Well, look, when you have back pain, what are your options? What are your traditional options?
Yeah, you're taking a pill.
Virtually every one of them deals with symptoms. They don't deal with the problem.
Of course.
Your back's still screaming, you just can't hear it.
Right.
What good is that?
Yeah, no, you're right.
Teeter does the relief at the cause of the problem naturally in just minutes. Taking the pressure off. You've got a pinched nerve. You know, these discs are fluid-filled shock absorbers.
Yeah.
And they're constantly changing their fluid content. So a degenerative disc means a disc that's lost moisture and is not able to recover it again. That's an aging thing. That is if you don't fight back. But the disc also controls the size of the opening that the nerves come through. There's 2 nerves for every disc, and all these nerves control every function of the body. So if you've got a degenerative disc, a thin disc, then you likely have a pinched nerve, pain down a leg, pain down a shoulder. That's sciatica.
That's sciatica.
Inversion, you invert and you take the pressure off. These joints open up, they decompress, they elongate, they pick up moisture, they take the pressure off. Less pressure is less pain. They encourage things like this herniated disc to draw back in, or a bulge disc, just pulling that back in.
Can I ask you a question though? So Andrew and Colleen, everyone who's tried your inversion table has been doing it for 20 years, 15 years, 10 years. What are the benefits to doing this on a daily basis?
On a daily basis? Well, the benefit to me has been able to, at 80 years old, I'm water skiing.
That's true.
And I'm actually, the problem that caused my back pain 40 years ago, that was debilitating for 5 years, and why I started this business, because inversion was the only thing that actually relieved it to the point that I said, that works better than anything I've ever tried, and we started this company in our garage in 1981. The very thing that caused that back pain was water skiing. Well, what am I doing today? I've been out 25 times already this year, 40 times last year, and can't wait to get back next week and ski again because I love that sport. And I get to teach my grandchildren.
Yeah.
You know, that's the long-term use of inversion can help you keep youthful functioning joints. Flexibility. Help you keep your posture.
That's
you
right.
look better in the mirror.
You do.
You know.
And it's so funny because a lot of people think that middle-age spread, and we'll get to this later in the show, it's the same weight, same person. It's just gravity's not your friend.
No,
right?
it's kind of, you're losing height.
Right.
And it's kind of like a
so
compression
funny.
wrinkle.
If you watch someone cross the street, you can probably guess their age by how they're moving. I always say this is the most economical, the smartest fountain of youth in the world, because if your movement, if how you're stooping, if how you're standing, if how you're sitting, if your pain is inhibiting what you're doing, it's aging you before your time. It really is.
Well, at first you stop moving freely.
You stop moving.
And that adds to the deterioration.
You bet.
You know, because you've got to use it or lose it.
You do.
And if you start losing your joints, you less because your back's hurting, so you're not standing up as much, you're not walking as much. All this, everything goes south.
It does. Here's the problem, though. We don't have a lot of these. And I will say, Roger and Riley actually gave me the heads up. This was coming a few months ago. She's like, oh, you just wait. So it is finally here, the 2019. Remember, it's an entry-level price, but it's all of the clinical medical upgrades, basically for free, greatly reduced shipping, $130 off for this show, and only 2 more earrings tomorrow. But Roger and his family probably have more medical doctors along with sports celebrities that love him. We'll talk about that later, but you have some new doctor testimonial that I thought was really fun.
We do. We just have so many, and I want to listen to Dr. Fry and then Dr. Long. In fact, Donlin Long is very, very famous worldwide. He was 35 years as a head of neurosurgery at a very prominent university. You can check him out on the internet. And anyways, let's hear what these two doctors have to say.
Perfect.
So when you decompress, there is a lengthening of the spine. And by doing so, with a greater disc height, you've got more room for the nerves. There's less compression with the facet joints. And the spine is just much happier.
For the past 53 years, I've been a neurosurgeon with a major interest in chronic pain and dealing with many patients with back pain. Most patients tell me if they use their Teeter inversion table on a regular basis, they simply feel much better. No one has to do anything to you, and I think it's a very natural way to deal with the problem.
Hey, by the way, Susan on Facebook says she has the original, uses it every day. She feels so much better. And you know what, Susan, it's time for me to upgrade too. I have the original and I'm so jealous about that suspension system. So we are Facebooking live. Real quickly, Roger, we did have a couple of questions.
Yes.
Height and weight restrictions. Now, I know you make special tables for sports celebrities, but who can use this?
They're for 4'8" to 6'6". And the maximum user weight, 300 pounds.
Okay.
But I do want to point out, which is unique to Teeter, is that this UL safety certified sticker proves this can't be on here unless it holds 4 times maximum user weight. So the table must hold 1,200 pounds.
No, you're the only table. I think we've got.
We're the only one that meets that standard.
You're the only one that meets that standard. I think we've got a couple of support elements with that regard. Because, thank you, Brandon. Because it's so funny. You tested other tables, and you know they say imitation is a form of flattery. There are tables that try to look like yours.
They do look like us.
They do look
like us, but they use the wrong steel.
Right.
You know, look at this is the kind of testing that we have to do for UL. That's 300 pounds, have to cycle 30,000 times. And that stack of weights you saw was the 1,200 pounds. Everything, all the locking mechanisms, everything is cycled 30,000 times. And it's done on a regular basis. And it's just not a one-time test. This is an ongoing test that we use to check quality, you know, regular production quality.
So every other, and there's also a little bar graph. I don't know if we have time to show it or not, but every other table that was tested, you know, first of all, they weren't brave enough, you know, because this is the only one that is UL safety security tested and approved.
That's right.
Because your background is engineering, like you said, they
engineering
failed.
and aircraft.
And aircraft.
And you know, this is the bar chart I want to show you. This is the primary test. There's 12 of them. See that vertical line over on the right with the writing? That's what UL safety engineers said the table needs to meet. That's 30,000 cycles. That long blue line on top We went 40,000 and just stopped for lack of time. I did sit-ups on that table after 40,000 cycles. Look at the lookalikes. I mean, this is scary.
Every single one failed.
Every one catastrophic structural failure. We're talking torn, bent, and broken metal. And you think, how can that be such a difference? Well, they use ordinary steel. For example, a coat hanger, a wire coat hanger is an ordinary steel. Sure. And you can bend that back and forth and break it in less than a minute. That's a fatigue failure. We use high carbon steels, heat treated and key components, and engineer fatigue out, because that's what my engineering training taught me in aircraft.
And again, that FDA, I know you saw, the Federal Drug Administration came to the party a little late, but they came, which is great. Teresa in Massachusetts is here as well. Teresa, you're live. Welcome to HSN. Oh, Teresa, honey, can you hear us? Oh, yeah, actually, Daryl, let's check with Teresa, and we might want to tell her to just turn her TV down in the background. That might be a little distracting. Okay. So we'll come back to Teresa, because we want to hear from you.
Don't go away.
We'll get that resolved. We'll get that resolved. But Roger, I know we want to show you on the table, and then we talk about that Nackhamson study as well. But once more, this is an engineering marvel. Oh, Teresa is back.
All
Look
right,
at that.
fantastic.
Teresa, welcome. It's Shannon and Roger. Welcome to HSN. Hi, Teresa.
Hi, Shannon. Hi, Roger.
Hi.
What I wanted to say about the table, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I wanted to, actually, I've been using it for several years, and it makes me feel like I have a brand new back every time I get on it, which is for about 5 minutes. But the one thing I wanted to mention, which I don't hear, is that it actually, so though all of that, we put all these creams on and everything to help to even things out and to stretch our necks out and all this, but the table has done that for me, which makes perfect sense. Once I noticed it, I thought, it's helped my knees tremendously.
That's virtually every weight-bearing joint. In fact, it decompresses the whole body, stimulates circulation. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Teresa, how long did it take before you felt relief? I mean, I think for most of us, we feel better the first time we get on the table. I mean, I guess...
I definitely felt better the first time I got on the table.
Yeah, I bet.
Without question.
And you said about 5 minutes a day, and that's enough to take...
I do 5 minutes at a time. I listen to Roger every time he comes on, and to get further tips. But I do 5 minutes at a time. I try to do it twice a day.
Wow. Well, great. Teresa, we thank you so much. And, I hope you have a blessed and safe Labor Day weekend. And thank you so much for sharing the good word. We can't do these shows without you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa. Before we go to the phones, in fact, Brandon, do we have that still that shows like the age of man?
The aging spine,
because Teresa was talking about, you want to retain your height, right?
Right, and whether it's the neck or the whole body, I mean, as we get older, we lose height. This figure's not gaining weight, but he sure is losing height. And when you lose height, that height loss shows up in your waistline. It's kind of like a compression wrinkle. Yep. It's internal organs went in the waist to the floor. Now, losing his figure is bad enough, but the big deal is actually that height loss is in the soft tissue of the joints. That's where your flexibility is, your shock absorption, your ability to be active, to have a life in retirement, to keep up with the grandkids, to do the things you love. Inversion is a maintenance program.
It is.
It'll help keep youthful function and lots of bonuses.
Right, and that alignment.
You look better posture. You
do.
You look better in your clothes. And you get rid of that old movement and become a young person with long strides.
You move like a gazelle.
Yeah,
he does.
That's it.
It's so funny because Roger, at 80 years young, which still amazes me, I see him over at the gym that actually he and I and Andrew Lessman, we all go to when they're in town. And, the truth of the matter is, age is just a number. And if your pain is handcuffing you, if your pain is prohibiting you from enjoying your life, they always say it's not, the years in your life, it's the life in your years. And what is your pain stealing from you? Is it keeping you from playing with your grandkids, from doing your job, is it just keeping you from your life? Do not let this pass you by, because if you think about it, now I'll ask Martin this question in a moment. I should have asked Teresa, she was talking about her neck, she was talking about her knees, she was talking about her back. She said too, she felt better from the very first use. What are you doing, or what did Teresa do before she got this? I could pretty much promise you anything that you're doing, if you don't have the hang-ups, and remember, there's no other inversion table like it, we're taking $130 off your price. We have greatly slashed that shipping and handling. You get all of the medical upgrades included basically for free, along with the 5-year warranty and the new suspension system, plus it's 85% assembled. But what was Teresa doing? Probably taking a pharmaceutical. We take a pill. That's masking the issue. It's not going to the source. So today is a changing day. We're going to give you the best price in America for the new upgraded, again, only UL security tested and approved table in the world. Martin in California is upgrading today.
All right.
Hi there, Martin. Welcome to the show. Please meet Roger Teeter.
Hello. Glad to meet you.
Thanks for calling, Martin.
Hi, Shannon. Hi, Roger.
Hi, Martin. So you got to tell us our story. Now, did I hear correctly? You tried one a while ago, but you're going to upgrade today?
I tried one many years ago. A friend had one.
Yeah.
Related to my son-in-law, and he let us use it, and I loved it. And things get away, you forget about it, this and that. I'm a little older now, and I want one.
Yeah, I want one. Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah, you know, it's unbelievable what it does. I mean, for so many people, it really is life-changing. And we want to hear from you when you get it, and you can tell us about how it changed your life.
Oh, good. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, first time I used it, it made me feel so much better.
I bet. Well, and Martin, we're going to do this next. I hope you saw us talk about some of the upgrades. Boy, the difference.
No, you know, I don't watch much TV. I happened to turn it on. I've been looking for this Teeter. I didn't go on the internet and look, but I happened to turn on the TV, and there you were.
There it is.
Boy,
Providence. There you are.
It was meant to be. It was meant to be. Hey, Martin, thank you for stopping by HSN. Happy pain-free and happy life, and enjoy what's left of your Labor Day weekend, okay?
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Martin.
Bye-bye.
All right, take good care. I know we've got lots of support, and keep those calls coming. Daryl, is there anything that we haven't addressed on Facebook Live? I'll have Gabby maybe bring back the tablet, or I'll take a peek. Okay, so we are Facebooking Live. We're taking all of your calls, all your testimonials. You really are the magic to this show. Okay. We're taking $130 off for something that is going to transform your life from the very first time that you get on it. It is the lowest price in America. You're getting it for a little over $54 on your credit card. Remember, you do not have to fully invert. You see Miss Riley over there enjoying herself. It's the quiet side of fitness. And then, of course, you see Matt going to town with, you know, he's been doing full inversion, et cetera, throughout the show. But in something that takes as little time as 3 to 5 minutes, I just really need to stress that. It takes, I always jokingly say it takes longer to microwave a baked potato than it does to get pain relief. And Roger, let's take everybody on a tour again, because we're about halfway through the show.
All right, this is the new 2019 model,
okay.
The FitSpine. And I want to show that it stores. It goes into a storage position. You can put it behind a couch or in a closet in just seconds. Springs into action so that you can use it during the day. It's adjustable from 4'8" to 6'6", 300-pound capacity with a 400% safety factor. This is a ComfortDial foot platform, big shoes, small shoes, very, very comfortable security device to hold your ankles. And the most important thing, because this is a medical table, is this easy reach handle, because it was done for clinical use, because most people going to doctors really have back pain to the point that they don't want to have to bend over. Micro precision adjustments. The lumbar bridge.
Which, now remember again, this is the only inversion table that has this, correct?
Yes, the only one that has this, and you can put it in any position so you can get the perfect fit. But besides keeping your spine in the right curvature in partial inversion, what it does is absolutely unique, is that when you start to invert, it kind of grabs your butt a little bit and it squares your hips, which is the hips are the foundation of the spine. So squaring your hips, because a lot of people have one hip a little higher than the other.
Yeah.
And so by squaring your hips before you apply the traction, it's a great plus.
Which, and I have to point out again, that is the only inversion table in the world that has this. So a lot of chiropractors' offices use this, because remember, it's the doctor, you know, the clinical practice table. These little lumbar nodes are especially helpful because if you've got that knot in your lower back or your shoulder. And then, Roger, I know you already went over it, but these easy handles handles, and then this.
Right, well, you've got the oversized handles.
Right.
You can walk yourself back with those. But my favorite is actually these traction handles.
Right.
And the idea of those is that, let's say you put that tether strap on, and let's say that this is the angle this is the greatest angle you're comfortable with. So you can't go any further. In fact, let's even make it shallower. But you want to get more decompression. You can use your arm strength and push on these traction handles and decompress your body as though you were in full inversion. But if you do it on a regular basis, you'll find that you can easily get up to this angle and be just as comfortable. And you'll know you're there because your hands fall in this grip where you can pull and shove yourself back into shape. You don't need to go beyond any angle than this to get every single benefit. And again, with the traction handles, you can actually accomplish this at less angle. Full inversion, you don't need to go there.
You don't.
But 50% of regular invertees do because of the extra freedom.
Right.
You can do inverted squats, sculpt the glutes, strengthen the hamstrings. You can do crunches, and you can do stretches that you just can't do any other way to improve your flexibility. And when you're 80 years old, which I am, it's my birthday month. It's functional fitness that counts. That means joints that work so you can do the things that you love to do, keep up with the grandkids.
We'll go to the phones in a moment, but if you didn't see
even if you don't jump, you'll feel like you can.
Half his age. But here's what's interesting. When you see that videotape of you water skiing, people look at you and they just think, oh, Roger's always been active. You actually, your life was, you couldn't move.
No, I wrecked my back 40 years ago. And when I say wrecked, on worst days, I couldn't get out of bed.
Right.
I literally crawled hands and knees into the shower to get hot water on my back just to stand up. Nothing I tried worked until I found inversion. The relief I got was temporary, but it lasted longer.
Yes.
And it was more effective than anything else I'd done. And by doing it on a regular basis, I've been pain-free for the last 37 years, and I'm doing the very same things that caused my back pain problem before.
Isn't that crazy? So I hope you hear what Roger's saying. At 80 years young, his birthday month, he's doing the exact same things that
caused the back problem in the first place.
All right. Well, Irene is joining us in Florida. Thank you for the phone calls, guys. Irene, welcome to the show. Say hi to Roger.
Hi, Roger.
Hi, Irene.
Hi.
Thanks for calling.
I love your Teeter hang-ups.
Yes,
I've had it now for a couple of years, and it's really helped me a lot.
What has it done for you?
Well, it's stretched out my back. I used to have a lot lower back pain, and I used to have a lot of pain in my neck from stress and tension and everything else. My discs were compressed, and just using it a little bit has really helped me a lot. But I have one question for you, if I could.
Oh, sure. Please.
I have the EP860, and it had the lower foot release pedal.
Yes.
And that's my only problem that I had was sometimes when I was so relaxed and enjoying it, I had to get up and bend all the way over to release it.
Yes, the Easy Reach handle is a lot easier, that's for sure.
It is. It is. Well, Irene, you just keep making it better and better.
Right, it's better and better. And actually, this table is the same price as the one that you're talking about, which is a market entry table.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're
no,
right.
that's the 860. That has some advanced features also. But this is the same price.
It is.
Yeah.
So, Irene, if I'm hearing probably your question is, I'm thinking
could I get the foot release, the new foot release, would it be adaptable for my EP860 is what I'm asking.
I know, we're looking at Riley.
It is $100.
Okay.
Yeah, sold separately.
All right.
If you're thinking about it, you get so many more upgrades with this table compared to the 860. That was 2 generations ago. So this has a lot of additional features that I think you'll enjoy. So maybe you can find somebody that you love that needs some back pain relief and gift that one over.
There you go.
Get all the new good stuff.
To answer your question, your customer service is great, but you can buy it separately for like $100.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Irene, we love you here in Florida. Thank you so much for sharing the good word. So Daryl, if we could just make sure that Irene got that information, that would be great. Okay, so Irene, I hope you heard that you can buy the new upgraded foot adjustment.
Yes.
But it's $100 if you just call Teeter individually. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, and thank you very much for bringing the marvelous equipment to everybody and helping everybody's pain.
Absolutely.
Thanks so
Irene,
much,
what a
Irene.
nice call. Thank you. And actually, Riley makes an excellent point. What's so funny is, because I've already mentioned a couple of times, I have the original table. And it's funny, I have gone to your website and called your company. They're all fabulous, by the way. You have such a great team. But it's funny, I was pricing out the individual upgrades, to Riley's point. And it's funny because when I did the math, it would cost me more to try to upgrade my old table and than it would for me to just get a new one. And you know what's so interesting? I almost said the name of the brand. I drive one of those cars that you can drive for 200,000 or 300,000 miles. They hold their value, okay? A Teeter holds its value. I'll leave it at that. Even on quote unquote the secondary market, people want them for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And I say that because when it ain't broke, why fix it? But Roger did. He keeps building enhancements. And to buy these enhancements individually, you would easily spend more than you would to just get a new table, gift it, pay it forward, you know, upstairs, downstairs, whatever it might be. I will tell you this, though, and Irene, thank you for that great call. That was a nice question, too, by the way. It really does validate for me that the upgrades pay for the purchase. I mean, forget the fact that you're saving $130 today, and then shipping has been greatly reduced. We're doing it for a little over $54 on your credit card. Not only $130 off, but 85% assembled. UL safety tested and approved, which again, no other table in the world has. Enhancements no other table in the world has. Not only the clinical practice, this is the same table that's used in a doctor's office.
Absolutely, exactly
Same one.
same.
The only one that can help compensate for higher hip, you know, leg, you know, shortage
Square
on,
the
one,
hips,
on
right?
one side. The new suspension system, which basically is free, because the table that Irene has and that I have, you know what's so funny, Roger? We were talking about this behind the scenes. I spent more for my original table with none of these upgrades than you're spending today. And you don't do today's specials. They've asked you to. I don't know, I can't say never about anything, but I've never had the pleasure of doing this as a today's special with you. Occasionally you do a host pick. I knew you're doing one with Colleen, but
that's right.
You don't do, I mean, you don't do this price for anybody
We never
else.
have done it.
No,
you know, we've
I know
just
you
focused
haven't.
on giving the best quality that we possibly can at the best value.
Absolutely. Can we talk a little bit about the Nachemson study? Because people think, oh, well, I lay down. And nothing really does what this does.
Right. You know, Dr. Nachemson did this study at Gothenburg University in Sweden a number of years ago. That bright light is the location of a surgically implanted pressure sensor. And they had a number of people in the study, and they wanted to see how the pressure changed in different body positions. Yeah. Standing up, the baseline is 100%. You see the 100% over in the upper right-hand corner. And then when they went to different body positions, bending over, it doubled. But you knew that. You had to be careful bending over. Did you know that? Taking a load off, sitting down, 50% higher load than standing. And are you ready for this? This is where back pain, yeah, there's a recipe for back pain.
Yeah, that's life on this planet.
2.5 times the loads of standing. You think, you don't feel it. Your muscles are relaxed. You think you've taken a load off, but you've dumped it on your back. That last 25% goes to bed with you. It's not caused by the gravity. It's caused by the construction of the spine. You've got hundreds and hundreds of ligaments and 140 muscles that stabilize the spine. There's the ligaments, there's the muscles, and they have like rubber bands. They hold the spine and stabilize it, but those rubber bands are very strong, and to overcome them, you've got to pull traction with about 60% of your body weight, which you can use the traction handles at any angle, or you can go to the angle of the rear legs, about a 60-degree angle, and that's what would accomplish the decompression that
so remember, you don't have to invert all the way. In fact, even you see Riley over there, she's enjoying her sweet old time with this. We'll also talk about the mat and some of the great things that that Riley has over there. But remember, it's the quiet side of fitness. The other thing about this is, I know I keep saying it, I don't do it not just because I'm hungry, but it takes you longer to sometimes microwave popcorn or microwave a potato, you know, than it does to get immediate relief that is going to the source. And all of us as show hosts love working with Roger because he's not only so passionate and so knowledgeable, it's so nice when we have products that really do fulfill their promise.
Really?
And when we talk about anyone in your family who might live with chronic pain, there's a lot of chronic pain in my family, we'll show that FDA still again, because I've already checked off all 4. And my mom, I think, checks off most of them, I gotta be honest. Back pain, sciatica, spinal degenerative joint disease, arthritis, guys and gals, spinal curvature, muscle tension, herniated disc, degenerative disc disease, spinal stenosis, facet syndrome, muscle spasm. Now on Facebook Live, and I'll check again, we did have a couple of questions about specific medical questions, and of course, always check with your doctor if there's something, you know, that specifically deals with you. We have to keep these presentations pretty broad, you know, to cover, but if there is something specific, check with your doctor, of course. But we've got so much support yet. We haven't heard from Dr. Tantz, we've got testimonial footage, we got a lot of good things, but we're doing $130 off for this show. We're doing a 5-year warranty. It is not only FDA cleared and approved, it is the same table that is used in doctors' offices and clinical practices. It is also, you get all of those medical upgrades, including the new suspension system that gives you structure, but now gives you a little more fluidity. That's basically free for the same price or less. This is less money than I spent for my original table. And Roger, you do all of this and you do most of the assembly as well.
85% assembled. And you know, just to touch on that, for example, this main shaft with all these small parts fully assembled out of the box.
So it comes out of the box like that.
Out of the box. The A-frame is assembled. We have the feet on. The security strap is on, or tether strap rather, and the spreader arms. It's fully, A-frame's fully assembled except for putting these handles on. That's 3 screws and a bolt. And, you know, the bed is basically fully assembled also. So you'll spend more time getting it out of the box.
Right, absolutely.
than you will putting it together.
Again, here's the thing. If you have back pain, if you have muscle spasms, if you have herniated disc, if you have spinal stenosis, if you have arthritis, I mean, I got to tell you, check, check, and check.
Right, and Teeter deals with all of those 10 things because it relieves back pain 4 different ways. Takes the pressure off, helps this to rehydrate, helps misalignments to self-correct, and stretches and relaxes paraspinal
It does.
muscles.
We're going to go to the phones. By the way, on Facebook Live, Michael made a comment that the quarters fall out of his pockets when he inverts. So you need to invent like a Roomba that picks up all the scattered change. That's the only thing that this is missing.
We've got a little caddy that snaps on the table, and you can put your change in there.
See, Michael, he's way ahead of you. So actually, we'll try to make time to show you the mat and some of the additional accessories as well. But we want to make sure that we get to the phones.
Yes.
Patrick is calling in Louisiana. Patrick, welcome to the party. Say hi to Roger.
Hello, Roger. How are you?
Super. Thanks for calling, Patrick. Tell us your story.
Well, I purchased the 7000.
Okay.
That was many years ago.
That's a while back, yeah.
I've had it since 2004, actually.
Yeah.
And I've been very, very satisfied with the product. Actually, I'm very intrigued about your newest and latest and greatest, and I'm getting ready to purchase one. Yes. And I'm 62 years young. I had a situation years ago where I ruptured 2 of my lower lumbar discs, and I was in dire pain. I was having difficulty dealing with it. I didn't want to get hooked on any kind of pain medication to temporarily alleviate the pain, and I was suggested to have back surgery, and I was fearful we should reconsider before doing that. But I'm certainly glad that I did not, and I'm certainly even more fortunate that I had an opportunity to see you one day on HSN, and it's really been a life changer. It's been a game changer. It's changed my life. Actually, my back is pretty much, I feel great. I feel fantastic. I'm able to do squats now. I'm able to train as far as in the gym. I do about 80 miles on the track. I feel fantastic. I'm extremely flexible. It's really helped out. I had some knee injuries from past athletic events from years ago. It's I've had no knee problems anymore. I invert about 10 minutes every day. I do 5 and 5. I do 5 first thing in the morning, and I do 5 prior to going to sleep. And I do notice what I do when I decompress prior to going to bed. It really works. It puts you in a relaxation mode.
Absolutely, gets rid of stress.
It's just amazing. I remember one day my daughter came in with some of her friends, and they said, My daughter's name's Francesca. She says, I think your dad's losing it because I was inverting at the time. And I had to laugh and say, well, no, it's not a psychological thing. It's a physiological thing. But I never forgot that. And I have a lot of my friends, Roger, that have come over, and they've inverted the machine. It's got to the point now, I'm not sure if they come over to see me or to invert.
Oh, that's cute.
That's good.
But I'd like to
love
thank
your
you,
story, Patrick.
and I highly recommend for any future customers that are watching the show tonight that I'd highly recommend it. You're hearing my testimony, and I've had nothing but great things to say about the product. And first and foremost is that in the event that you're not 100% satisfied, you can always send it back. So how can you lose? The only way you're going to find if you like it is to just give it a try.
Patrick, I'm out of a job.
I recommend to everyone across America and the world, just give it a try.
It puts you out of business, Shane.
Exactly. Patrick, we need you on the air here.
Hey, I'm looking for a part-time job.
Hey, exactly. Come on down. Patrick, you've been amazing. I mean, you really have. Thank you so much for spreading the good word. Best to you. Safe Labor Day weekend. And thank you again for stopping by HSN.
Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick.
You know, he's so active.
He said it all.
The things he's doing. And he's using a table that he bought here in 2004.
Right, I know.
2004.
You know what's funny?
We build them all to last that long, you know?
You know what's so funny? People don't keep their cars that long.
No.
No, I'm serious about that. When you think about it. So here's the thing, and wow, time always goes by so quickly with Roger, and Patrick really did say it all. I feel like I'm out of a job. But all of this in 3 to 5 minutes, all of this for $130 off for this show and one more airing. All of this in the only inversion table in the world that did not fail in that UL security test. No other one has that certification and approval. No other one has that lumbar bridge that helps address a shorter leg or a higher hip than a lower hip. No one else has this suspension system.
No, this 8-point floating suspension is absolutely amazing. It is so comfortable, and it moves with you. And we did this by lifting the bed off the frame, then we mounted it on 8 points that have rubber ball bearings.
And it was Irene that asked about this, which I think it was a valid question, because we do keep our tables forever. You could buy the new, this is the same micro adjustment, foot handle that they use in the doctor's practice, but it's a $100 upgrade. And you can actually buy it individually, but the truth is, because I thought, oh, well, gosh, do I just upgrade? Because we get very personally bonded to our tables. But by the time we do, they become family members. But by the time I added up all the upgrades, I would spend more to do the upgrades than to just get a new table. It's genius, Roger.
Yeah.
It is. But you've got more testimonials. Should we share them with everybody?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So we've got a little montage, and then we'll go back to some of the doctor-supported testimonials, and of course you Facebooking Live and call us. But here again is what some other fans have to say.
If you've ever had back pain, you want to go away. Having the Teeter inversion table absolutely changed my life.
I felt like someone's grandmother. I shouldn't be feeling like that in my 30s. When I got on the Teeter, I just felt such an intense amount of relief. It's been the best that my back has felt in a really long time.
Something so simple has been such a big change in my daily quality of life. I go out and rake leaves. I'll go pick up things. Unless you try it, you won't believe what I'm saying, but it is amazing.
I'm probably really boring because when anyone complains to me about their back, I say, well, have you tried a Teeter table? It helped me so much you have no idea.
When I come home from a hard day's work and I'm stressed, one of the first things I do, I get on my Teeter, I invert for a few minutes, and I just get that feeling where I just feel the stress of the day just kind of floating out of my body. It's a great feeling. It's a great feeling.
I like that. The Teeter table gives you if you want to put the back in your life. Hey, by the way, if you want to add to that you definitely want what Riley's showing off. See, now normally mom gets to show off the little massage mat, right? See, she's not. So. Oh, it is? Well, happy birthday.
Is that terrible? We're like, well, wave, happy birthday,
Hi, Mom. All right. So you guys actually have a couple of accessories. I like the remote/phone holder.
Yeah.
But this is the comfort cushion, right? With the little massagey and stuff.
Right, there's 10 different motors. That's gonna help bring circulation into the sore muscles, cleanse out